Jerod Mayo takes over, and they win, I think, the first game against the Cincinnati Bengals, and everybody feels great. And then the season just went off the rails, and Robert Kraft decided to fire Jerod Mayo about 45 minutes after the final game of the season because he had his eye on Mike Vrabel, who at the time was a coaching consultant with the Cleveland Browns. He knew that Mike Vrabel was going to be one of the most sought-after coaches out there. There was Ben Johnson, there was Aaron Glenn, and there was Mike Vrabel. And so he did what he had to do, Robert Kraft did, to be in position to hire Mike Vrabel as quickly as possible. He was the first coach off the list last year because he knew that that guy is a game changer. He knew that the Tennessee Titans made an enormous mistake in firing Mike Vrabel, and more specifically, that the owner of the Tennessee Titans made an enormous mistake in firing Mike Vrabel, thinking that she could not get over the hump with him as head coach. How's that working out?
The New England Patriots weren't supposed to be here. That's the wildest part of this entire story. This squad walked into the 2025-2026 season as a rebuild project, not a contender, and definitely not a team anybody thought would be fighting for a Super Bowl spot on February 8th. But as sources claim, the moment Drake May stepped into that locker room and Mike Vrabel took over the headset, something shifted in that building instantly. The energy flipped, the culture flipped, the expectations flipped. Suddenly, every analyst who had clowned the Patriots for being years away got real quiet when the wins started stacking up fast. This wasn't some miracle run, this was calculated chaos, the type of season that felt scripted by destiny itself.
A firing, you go back in-house, what it feels like, with Mike Vrabel, a part of the Patriot family. You make that hiring, and here you are, some 12, 14 months later, headed back to that place you know so well.
Drake May came out firing, moving like a veteran even though he was still early in his career. He shook off pressure, shredded zone coverage, and made defenses look goofy every time he scrambled out the pocket and extended plays with that cold-blooded poise. As sources claim, by week 8, defensive coordinators were calling him the most annoying QB to game plan for since prime Mahomes, because he never folded, never panicked, and never played scared. That mobility plus that field vision created a monster nobody expected. Meanwhile, Mike Vrabel turned this roster into a straight-up machine. The man rebuilt the team identity from the trenches outward. No more soft edges, no more predictable play calls. Reports from inside the facility said Vrabel's early meetings were military level, demanding players bring a new discipline and a new nastiness on every snap. The defense responded first, laying hits that echoed through stadiums and bringing back that classic Patriots energy, the one built on toughness, intensity, and calculated violence. Then came the run defense, a unit that every team in the league underestimated until it punched them in the mouth. As insiders reported, New England's front seven was allowing fewer rushing yards than any team in the AFC heading into the final stretch of the season. Opposing running backs were getting swallowed up at the line of scrimmage, and offensive coordinators were forced to abandon their game plan before halftime because nothing on the ground was working. Analysts even said New England had the most violent 3-yard stops in the league because every play felt like somebody was getting wrecked. Then the cornerback duo, that's where things went from impressive to downright scary.
One of the best turnarounds in sports from where the Patriots were last year, then going out and getting Mike Vrabel as their head coach, and then having this turnaround and now going to the Super Bowl. Pats Nation, we're going back to the Super Bowl, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
With elite ball hawks locking down sideline routes, QBs had nowhere to go with the rock. Deep shots, shut down. Comebacks, locked, slants, jumped on instantly. As sources claim, one NFC scout said the Patriots' DB unit moves like they can smell the route before the receiver runs it. Put that all together. A star QB ascending, a coach rebuilding a dynasty blueprint, a run defense that bullies entire offenses and cornerbacks that erase half the field, and suddenly the Patriots weren't a dark horse anymore. They were a problem, a real problem, and the NFL was forced to face one ugly truth. The Patriots were becoming a team of destiny, and nobody could stop the momentum. Drake May didn't just show up this year, he detonated. The league had labeled him promising but raw, calling him a development project, a long-term build, a quarterback who needed patience. Instead, he pulled up to the AFC like he was born for the smoke. Every snap looked effortless, every read crisp, every scramble explosive. As insiders claim, New England coaches were whispering behind the scenes that May was installing his own tweaks into the playbook by week 6 because he understood the offense better than half the veterans around him. And what made it crazier? He didn't need superstar receivers to make noise. He was turning average talent into weapons just off timing and accuracy. One AFC defensive coach said anonymously that trying to blitz Drake May felt like playing chess against somebody who already knows your next move. When he scrambled, defenders froze because they didn't know whether he would run, sling a deep bomb, or hit someone across the middle on the move. That unpredictability made him lethal. The clutch performances started stacking up early in the season. Fourth quarter comebacks, long drives in tight moments, and pressure situations that made announcers lose their minds.
Blow you away with his passing arsenal. But what he did was he became a difference maker in the running game. Improvised running, QB design running plays. Heck, that's how they scored their only touchdown, a quarterback design draw. Drake made 10 rushing attempts for 65 yards. So in a game where the conditions really impact the entire flow, 65 yards feel like 140 because those were impactful yards.
As sources claim, inside the Patriots facility, players started calling him the Ice Pack because the kid never got shook. When the pocket collapsed, he stayed cool. When defenses disguised looks, he found the weakness. When teams sent heat, he punished them. The league wasn't ready for a rookie making this many big boy decisions this early. Now add the part the media didn't want to admit. Drake May wasn't supposed to outplay veteran QBs, but he was cooking them week after week. Reports surfaced of executives texting each other during games saying, "We messed up letting New England draft him." That's how wild it got. His footwork improved every game. His third down efficiency was elite. His deep ball accuracy was hitting highlight reels every week. And as analysts pointed out, he had the lowest turnover rate under pressure among all AFC quarterbacks near the end of the regular season. Then came the moment that changed everything, the AFC playoff run. Drake May hit a switch and played like a future MVP. Sources claim Vrabel gave him more freedom at the line of scrimmage, letting him adjust protections and audible routes. The offense suddenly looked faster, sharper, and more dangerous. Defensive captains across the league said he played like somebody who had already seen the play before it even started. By championship weekend, May wasn't a rookie anymore. He was a threat, a top-tier problem, and his ability to deliver in chaos made the Patriots look unstoppable. As insiders reported, defensive coordinators said privately they would rather face Mahomes or Allen than see May with the ball in the fourth quarter because he don't fold and he don't blink ever. And that's why the Patriots started feeling like a team touched by destiny, because their quarterback wasn't waiting on greatness, he was walking straight into it. When Mike Vrabel took over, people laughed. They said the Patriots were too broken, too washed, too far from their championship DNA to bounce back anytime soon. Then Vrabel walked in and flipped the whole operation upside down. As sources claim, from day one he pushed a new identity: toughness, accountability, and no room for soft habits.
And I understand, like, Chargers offensive line beat up, the Houston offensive performance, CJ played bad. Yesterday you're a backup quarterback, but felt a lot like the early 2000s. There's not a lot of like the national names on this defense. But when you watch him play, Marcus Jones was sensational yesterday. I think he has the play of the game. Barmore, great. Milton Williams is a highly paid defensive tackle, but I don't think he's in your, when you ask people who's the best defensive tackle in football, people aren't saying Milton Williams. Spillane was awesome again. The corners are great. And I just didn't see this defense in New England dominating throughout the course of the season the way they have in the playoffs. They have been dominant.
That message hit instantly inside that building, and the roster started responding with a hunger the league hadn't seen from New England since the Brady era. Vrabel didn't try to be flashy. He didn't try to copy Bill Belichick. He built his own formula: loud, aggressive, physical football. And the players bought in because they saw results immediately. Reports from practices said the intensity was so high that multiple veteran linemen were throwing up by week 2 of training camp. Vrabel wanted dogs on the field, not pretty boy athletes, and he rebuilt that toughness through drills, conditioning, and nonstop pressure that pushed everybody past their limits. But here's what made Vrabel's approach different. He wasn't afraid to modernize the offense. He wasn't living in the past. As insiders claim, Vrabel collaborated directly with offensive assistants to create a system tailored to Drake May's strengths. Fast-breaking angles, layered routes, and movement-based reads that punish defenses for being slow even for a split second. This wasn't old-school New England. This was something sharper, faster, and more violent. Behind the scenes, Vrabel reportedly fought for more roster control because he wanted certain types of players: grinders, high IQ film junkies, and defensive dogs who hit hard every play. As sources claim, the Patriots scouting department started giving priority to players with a mean streak, guys who finish tackles, pancake blocks, and fight for extra yards even when the play looks dead. That identity became the backbone of the team. The defense under Vrabel's new blueprint became the most disciplined unit in the AFC. Missed tackles dropped dramatically, containment improved. The front seven learned new gap control systems designed to shut down inside runs before they even started. This shift hit the league like a brick. By mid-season, analysts were calling New England's defense built like a steel wall, refusing to crack even against elite offenses. And Vrabel's leadership off the field, that was part of the magic too. As sources claim, Vrabel started team-wide film sessions where players had to stand up and break down plays in front of the whole roster. No hiding, no excuses, no fear. It created accountability through the roof. Players sharpened up fast because nobody wanted to get exposed in front of their teammates. This combination, discipline, violence, modern offense, and ruthless accountability, rebuilt the Patriots' DNA. The culture wasn't just restored, it was reborn, and the NFL had no clue how quickly this transformation was coming. Because once Vrabel and May got synced up, the Patriots didn't just look good, they looked destined for something historic. What really made the Patriots dangerous wasn't just Drake May or Mike Vrabel. It was that vicious defense that turned Sundays into crime scenes. Every time an offense lined up, New England's front seven made them regret showing up. As sources claim, the Patriots' run defense was so dominant in the second half of the season that multiple teams reportedly changed their entire offensive game plans 24 hours before playing them because the tape looked too ugly to stick with the original script. This run defense didn't just stop plays, it humiliated running backs. Holes closed instantly, linebackers crashed with speed, edge rushers contained outside runs like they were synced up through telepathy. One NFC scout said the Patriots had the hardest hitting 3-yard gains in football because even the smallest rushing attempts felt like collisions with a brick wall. But the real nightmare rode in the secondary. The Patriots' cornerback duo was moving different. These weren't just solid DBs. These were elite-level route readers who took entire passing concepts away before the ball even snapped. As insiders claim, the Patriots' corners had the highest combined passer rating allowed under 60% for any AFC team in the second half of the season. QBs were terrified to throw outside because the corners jumped everything with bad intentions. The film don't lie. These DBs were sticky, physical, and willing to bait quarterbacks into making dumb throws. Slants got jumped, outs got cut off, deep fades got shadowed like the receivers were dragging weights behind them. It forced quarterbacks to force throws inside, exactly where the linebackers were waiting like sharks ready to pounce. And when teams tried to avoid the corners by playing dink and dunk football, the Patriots adjusted instantly. As sources claim, New England added disguised nickel blitzes that cooked multiple quarterbacks by surprise, including 2 game-changing sacks late in playoff games that flipped the momentum completely. This defense wasn't just talented, it was angry, playing every snap like it had something to prove. And throughout the season, the mentality grew harsher. Players talked about protecting destiny, a mindset that made every tackle feel personal. Reporters claimed you could hear defenders yelling, "Not today," after big stops in crucial games. The craziest part? The Patriots' defense kept getting better the deeper the season went. Film study, chemistry, swagger, everything tightened. Teams entered Foxborough nervous, and they left bruised, confused, and questioning their entire playbook. By playoff time, it didn't matter how explosive an offense was. Nobody wanted to face New England. And that fear became part of the Patriots' superpower. Because when your quarterback is ascending, your coach is brilliant, and your defense is suffocating, destiny stops being a dream, it becomes an expectation. As the playoffs pushed toward Super Bowl weekend, the Patriots weren't just winning games, they were rewriting the entire narrative of the NFL. Analysts who doubted them early in the season were forced to backtrack fast. As sources claim, an anonymous NFC GM reportedly said, "This Patriots team is getting scary at the perfect time." That statement spread fast because everyone realized the same brutal truth. New England wasn't just on a run, they were peaking right when the league least wanted it. Drake May's development jumped another level in the postseason. He started reading defenses like a vet, calling audibles at the line that shocked opposing coordinators, and delivering strikes under pressure like he was born in 2-minute drills. His leadership became undeniable. As insiders reported, teammates started referring to him as the silent killer because he didn't talk crazy. He just delivered every single time the stakes got high. Meanwhile, Vrabel didn't let the team get comfortable for 1 second. Sources say he held intense walkthroughs even on short weeks, forcing players to correct tiny details that casual fans would never notice. He built a mentality that every yard mattered, and every mistake could cost a championship. That standard created the most dialed-in Patriots team since the dynasty era. The league took notice quickly. Commentators on national networks admitted New England looked like the most disciplined team left, while defensive legends praised the physicality and raw toughness that had been missing from the league for years. The Patriots weren't flashy, they were relentless. And then came the momentum nobody could deny, destiny-level momentum. Key injuries healed faster than expected. Calls started going their way. Rookies stepped up like seasoned vets. As sources claim, even players on rival teams were saying off-camera, the Patriots might really do it, they just feel different. The offense kept expanding too. Trick plays, misdirection screens, backside concepts that caught elite defenses slipping. Drake May unleashed his mobility, breaking ankles and hitting receivers on 40-yard cross-field lasers that had social media calling him Brady 2.0 with wheels. Analysts said this was the most unpredictable Patriots offense in a decade. The defense, even scarier. They were forcing turnovers in the biggest moments, picking off top quarterbacks, making goal line stands that sucked the life out of entire stadiums. They were playing like a unit possessed, refusing to crack even in the final minutes of close games. Destiny doesn't ask permission, it forces its way in. And the Patriots were moving with the kind of momentum that felt impossible to stop. Everything lined up, the culture, the coaching, the QB, the defense, the locker room unity, and the raw belief that history was about to get rewritten again. This wasn't a rebuild, this wasn't a fluke, this was a team of destiny, locked in and ready to shock the world on February 8th. If you're rocking with this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more content.